Hey, I'm Team Goolsby. We're with Team Goolsby Real Estate. We're just going to talk about some of the advantages of working with us.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Tracy Peterson.
And I'm Philip Goolsby, and we're happy to be here. And I have a couple questions just to kind of get the ball rolling here. So when we talk about Team Goolsby, what sets Team Goolsby apart from the competition?
Well, absolutely. I think the biggest advantage is experience. Experience matters in this business. And between Tracy and I, we've got more experience than most real estate agents can put in their lifetime. And when you get us, you get all three of us. We've got Phil on our team too. We've got Tracy and her specializations. And then you've got me we're all doing our absolute best for you.
One thing that I think that sets us apart is that we do a lot of things up front. So we have an expertise in preparing the property for the market to get you the most money in your pocket. That's really important. I've been up against, both of us have, in listing appointments where they've interviewed multiple agents, and when they come back and say that they want to go with us, and I always ask, what was the deciding factor? And they say, you're the only one that told us what we need to do to get the home ready. And that always throws me off and boggles my mind, because that's what we're getting paid to do, is prepare the home for the market. I think one of the other things that we're really good at is doing those disclosures and that paperwork up front. A lot of agents will do that at the end or at the middle of the transaction after they're in contract with a buyer. And it's really important to do those things up front, to get a copy of the natural hazard disclosure report and the CC&Rs and the preliminary title report, a copy of the trust, to make sure that the right person, in the trust is signing the contract. And so if you have any hiccups, we've caught that before the property's even gone live.
Very cool, very cool. One thing that I like about this setup, about how things are, is there's a saying in the industry that if you ever want business to pick up, just go on vacation.
Right.
And when we're busy in this world and going to different appointments and doing different things, the thing that really kind of hits home for me is that if we happen to be busy or we can't make it to a certain thing, we always have a team member that can always go in there and keep everything rolling, keep everything moving forward.
Feet on the ground. That's so important. For years and years before I joined Team Goolsby, it was me, myself, and I. And I felt like I couldn't have a lot of family time because I was always, and we have a family. I have 7 grandkids who I adore, and if I'm not working, I want to be with them all the time. And Tammy and Phil have one on the way. And so that's so wonderful, and you're going to want to be with them, right? That's one of the wonderful things about real estate, is having a home where you can have your family come and be together. And I remember one particular time where I was in Florida on vacation, and I had been working with a client, and I've been sending them properties, and we had looked at a few, and they hadn't found anything yet by the time I went, on this vacation that I had planned a year prior, right? You never know what clients you're going to have at the time you have your vacation.
Yeah.
And so I've called them and let them know that I was going to be out of the area, but they could still reach me. They could still text me. I was still going to be running searches every single day for them, and send that to them. And if there was something that they loved and wanted to see, I had my business partner, Team Goolsby, that was going to be meeting them, be the feet on the ground. And of course, right, when you're on vacation, real estate happens, and they found one that they loved, and I said, not a problem. I called Tammy, gave her the information, gave her my client's contact information. She met them, they loved it. We got an offer written and had inspections scheduled before I even got home.
Seamless.
And what I loved about that transaction is I took the client in, showed them the property. When they loved the home, we immediately gave the feedback to Tracy. She wrote everything up. We handled the negotiations, and it was taken care of. Like, no big deal. It didn't matter that Tracy wasn't the one handling the contract or handling the showing at the time. She had the contract under control, ready to go from wherever she's at in the world. We never leave our business uncovered.
Never.
And it sounds like everyone's on the same page at all times too. Great open communication between Team Goolsby as well.
Well, speaking on that, we have a business line now, so that it goes to all of us, so that when you call, it might be Tammy that answers that line, or myself, or Phil, and I love that, So if you're trying to reach Tammy and I answer, you could say, hey, I was trying to reach Tammy. Not a problem. We just want you to know that we care about your time, and we want we're fanatical. We're all three A personality, and we want your calls. You're never going to hear on our voicemail, if you've reached me after 6 p.m., I'll call you the next business day. You're not going to hear that. So we want you to know that we are available, and that if I don't answer the call because I'm in an appointment, Tammy or Phil's going to answer the call or return the call. So you're always going to be able to reach someone.
Our huge focus is to be the concierge of realtors.
That's a great question. Actually, it leads me into that. What does concierge mean to you?
So just like when I go to a hotel, I meet the concierge. They're there to provide me whatever they're capable of providing for me. And I feel like our team absolutely has the ability to provide anything necessary to get your home sold for the most amount of money as soon as possible. And we have the resources to show you the homes that fit your needs. One thing Tracy just talked about is our communication. We are there for you. We are available. There's 3 of us, so if you can't get an answer from me right away, you can get an answer from Philip or Tracy. You're going to be well taken care of. There's never going to be the possibility that your realtor was too busy to show you a home that you were in love with, or too busy to show your home that you've got on the market, because there's 3 of us. Between the 3 of us, you will be covered and well taken care of. We also make sure we provide the absolute best in our transactions with our paperwork, with the process, and communication. Above anything, what you want, when you sign a contract with a realtor, you want to know what in the world they're doing to help you. What's going on with your home?
I like that you gave that example of the hotel, because concierge service, right? You're not going to get at Motel 6, or even a Best Western for most part. But what I love about that word and what we offer with a concierge package is that service, that communication, that extra, right? With a concierge, you're getting extra. You're calling down and you're saying, hey, Mr. Concierge, can you please, it's our anniversary, can you please send up, this and this to the room? And they're happy to do that for you. And that's how we work. And I love that about our team, that if you need something extra that you're looking for, whether it's in marketing, we have those tools available to us. We are always, part of our concierge and our extra service is that we are staying up to date on new technology and things like that to make sure that we are top of the line marketing your home. It used to be years ago when we all first started in the industry that it was newspaper articles, right? We'd post things in the paper, and then before that even went out, we were on to the next. Then it was online presence, and now it's video creation. So we work hard to stay on top of new technology. We're using AI for something. This is all us, so not AI. But how important it is, right, for a concierge service to stay on top of the things that are relevant. Yeah. And because that's what's going to sell your home.
Yeah, I agree. When I think of the word concierge, also I think of the resources that we have to offer. And the honest truth is the depth of resources. So when there's a glitch in this industry, there's always a glitch. There's never a seamless transaction, it seems like. There's always something that comes up. And when I think of the resources that you have, you're the one that calls the county assessor. You're the one that tells the client, don't worry about it, I got it, everything's going to be okay. And you take care of all those calls for them. You don't just send them off to go figure it out on their own, out to the wolves. It's all about, let me take care of it for you, because selling a home is stressful enough. Even a perfect transaction is stressful. So anything you could take off their plate is just better for them. And that to me is concierge. You know the people to call. You know the contractors. You know the people down at county or at city. You know all the different people that can make this go faster and easier. And I love that. Other than the resources, tell me about your marketing. What kind of marketing do you guys do?
So we customize a marketing package for every listing we have. we give and take depending on what's needed for that listing. We call it our listing concierge, and there's customized packages, and then there's a la carte packages. And depending on what your home, the shape, condition of your home, whether it's a ranch, whether it's a commercial piece of property, raw land, whatever it might be, we customize that to our home. So Tracy, fill in what I forget, because it's robust what we have available.
Well, one thing I want to mention is that package does not depend on the price of the home. So we've had homes, I've had condos that I've sold, I know Tammy has, that have been, in less desirable areas and have been $45,000, right? And we're still spending the money for the top of the line marketing package. So we understand the role that we have to get you the most money in your pocket, and we're gonna do what it takes with that marketing that we have available to us to get you the most money in your pocket. And it doesn't matter if it is something that needs to be flipped and all the walls are torn apart and whatever, we're gonna spend the money to market that home. And if that's pulling in investors, then that's what we do.
It sounds like concierge doesn't start at $1 million.
No.
It starts at signing, regardless of what the house is.
I love that,
Absolutely.
at signing.
I like that. And that's really what you offer. And what I also love is how, because of the decades of experience that is here, that you know how to take something, you have the vision to take something that normally someone would say, well, I think it's only worth, $100,000, for example. And you can walk in and go, well, you could do that, but I think that if we do these couple of little tweaks, we could probably get,
And that depends on the client, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had clients that have had the money, and that's where we start. What do we have? This is what it would sell for as it is right now. But if we have some money to work with, and we're willing to do countertops and flooring and paint and new lighting and
you
some
have the contractors
landscaping,
anyway.
and we've got all those that can get it done quickly. And I actually have a contractor that I love to work with who's a one-stop shop. He comes in and does it all. Even if I need, like one time I needed, once they took everything down to the slab, they needed to have it sprayed for termites and fleas and everything else that needed a lot of work. And he even arranged that. So we love to have those tools and those people, those vendors available to us, but then we're able to provide that information to say, if you just want to you don't want to put any money into it, then this is what we can sell it for. But if you do, and you spend, for example, $50,000 doing these things, I'm going to get you 100 more. And I can prove that. Tammy can prove that. Bill can prove that with the comps. So that's not us just pulling that out of thin air.
Yeah.
That is us showing you that here's these 5 homes that just sold that were completely updated and refreshed. And so if sometimes people don't have the funds to do that, and that's okay. But if you do, then we're going to recommend that and say, let's do this. Let's get this done and get you more money.
I love that.
Yeah.
In just a matter of a few weeks.
Very quickly. Yeah. Turnaround is important.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you do a lot of residential homes. What other things do you guys specialize in?
So I would say residential homes is our bread and butter. We also do commercial, a good amount of commercial work, a lot of ranches. We've got an appointment with the ranches tomorrow, and then we're excited about that one. We do raw land, and we newly have a property management division. So that's pretty exciting to add that to our arsenal of tools that we have available to our clients.
And sometimes people might say, why do you have property management? Well, that's because sometimes it's not the right time to sell. And we care so much about our clients that we might suggest that and say, hey, you know what? You don't have a lot of money here in your equity. So if it looks like the market's having a tick up, right? And that's what we see right now in the market. So maybe you want to decide with your family if you want to wait a couple years and rent it out for a few years and have it be managed by a property manager. I would always recommend that, whether you use our division or another property management company, because if you're doing it on your own, I mean, I just hear about so many horror stories. You need to have a contract in place, and how many times you're going to allow the property manager to go through the property in a year. for inspections. I think that's really important.
Mhm.
And be able to take video to stay up on improvements or repairs, because we all know that when someone's renting, they have this fear of telling the landlord what if something broke, because they're afraid that their rent's going to be increased. We all understand that and we can appreciate that, but having a property manager that has it in the contract that twice a year they're going to go in and do a visual inspection, and maybe once a year have inspections done to protect the investment of the client, I think is something that we go above and beyond to make sure that your investment is protected.
I love that.
I think another important thing to note is that we are doing business in California. And when it comes to rentals in California, highly, highly recommend use a professional.
That's a great point. It's a great point. The thing that comes to my mind as well is, just like in the real estate division, property management, the key is open communication. The key is concierge.